What's up? What's up? Are we live? Are we live? We are live. Welcome, guys. How you doing? It's your boy Nick Salazar, HOUTX Trader, your boy right here from Houston, Texas, guys. Today we're gonna be live trading. Okay, we're gonna look at 30. We're gonna look at we're not looking at Nasdaq. We're gonna look at Goldilocks. We're gonna look at Bitcoin, and we're gonna look at Solana. We're gonna try to take some trades today. I think the market is in the position to take some trades. So this is just for financial. No. This is just for training, not financial advice. If you guys need financial advice, please go see a financial planner. Let's do this now. Let's get on the interwebs. I don't want that screen. That is my Twitter, though. Hello, Twitter. Um, bring this up here. Da, da, da. And I'm going to share this with thy world and see if we can get some people up on here. Live. Yes, please. Yes, please. And let's copy this link. All right, now let's go into our handy dandy Discord. All right, there we go. So we've thrown that in the BitDog just so you guys can see. Shout out. Let me see if I can move this over here actually. All right, guys. So here's my screen. You guys can now see my screen. Well, that's not what I wanted to do. Come down here, please, sir. Okay, so if you guys go and buy a BitDogs, all right, we have this alpha chat. We have all these chats in BitDogs, and there's lots of traders in here. And we're chatting it up, and we're showing our chart. So, if you are a trader and you're looking to get into a community and you want to get into the NFT world, you could look at BitDogs. It's on the BTC blockchain, right? You could also go in to buy if you're a Solana guy. Go buy a Bored Ape Solana Club. I highly suggest you do that. There is the link. I have my own tab called Chart Salazar, but you also have Chart Atom. You have Solar Trade, TTI. TTI is a options trader. So if you want to do puts and calls and all that, go there. And if you're not into that, let's just say you want to join a Discord community. You can join Andy Peters' Discord. As you see, he has live calls. He's always showing you his markups. Guys, he's a baller in the game. He's an OG. He's a multimillionaire trader. But then also you have my little tab down here where I put all my charts and all my markups. We also have a special section for indices, like just US30, just NAS, whatever. Forex pairs. Again, here's some of my markups on Forex pairs. And then also just for the hell of it, go buy a Bit Trump, guys. All right. I got some Bit Trumps. I got some other NFTs, but those are the ones I'm mostly messing with. So shout out to those guys. And also, if you need a funded company, go check out My Flash Funding. All right, you can go to My Flash Funding. There's a link in my dot card. And let's just show that real quick. So this is my dot card. All right, guys, if you go look in the description below, this is the dot card, my Twitter, Instagrams. But if you do need a funded company and you don't have all the capital and try to build your capital, click right here, buy Flash Funding, open up account. There's like a sick discounts right now. Um, again, since we're here, look, Instagram, Twitter. Here's the Pip Connect, which is Andy Peters' thing. Click right here if you want to join. Bored Ape, there's a link to their Discord, and there's the link to their Magic Eden, and also BitDogs on Magic Eden. So those are the two NFT communities that I'm more active in. All right, guys. So look, let's see what we have today. Okay, two things we're watching. We're watching US30 closely. What I want to see with US30 is just a peak up, right? I really would like it to hit that middle of that line, right? And I zoomed in earlier without you guys and looked at that consolidation. I think that's a really good spot. I don't know if it's going to go all the way to the 88.6. That's where I have my marker, but really, I think my entry is at 39.10. Okay, so let me move this. 39.10 is my entry, right there. 39.6, right there, which is literally 50% of this little consolidation area, right? So if we zoom in, that's a 30. But if we go to like the 15, right? This is the kind of entries where I get 2 or 3 pip drawdown entries, and it's just like this. Okay, this is how I do it. I see that we're in our sell area, which is the 88.6, 78.6. That's rule number one, right? We're in this area. But if we come down and look, we see how we have this long wick push off. We have another wick push off this candle, but then look, now this buy candle realizes there's buyers, there's movement here, there's people, that's why there's wicks. And these people who are trying to buy are saying, "Oh shit, this market's about to melt." Therefore, they're going to put in some money to manipulate this market to come up so they can get out of their positions, maybe liquidate, then to sell off. Basically, at the end of the day, there's a lot of movement in this area. I see these wicks, I see this long wick. This long wick technically came up and negated all of this. But there still has to be some sort of money. There still has to be something there, right? We also see on this bottom side, look at this long wick. So there's a crazy amount of liquidity going on right here. I want to split this top and that bottom in half and see if I could just get into that area. So that's the area that I'm entering. It's at right at 39.10. So it's in my sell zone. It is, you know, according to my strategy, right? So if we come back out to the 30-minute, right? I do realize this US30 is super, super sketchy right now. I say this all the time, but when we have this many tops, this may be a trade that if you might want to sit out, right? Top, 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 top. This is liquidity. Look at how close we're flying to the sun. This is the trend line. If it breaks this trend line, there's a very, very strong possibility this is gone and it goes up. The thing is, I'm kind of wanting this to just come up and come back down quick. Like maybe market open. I haven't even checked to see if we got news, but I'd like to see this come up and then close below and then sink. If it comes up and starts to close up here and you start seeing candles close up here, we're going to lose the trade. All right. The trend line is strong. If it breaks it, there's liquidity sitting right here. So this is it. Now I also have to think to myself, did this go and get sufficient liquidity on the bottom? I mean, I see this is a fat order block, right? This is a fat order block right there. So perhaps that's giving it enough juice to get up there, but for every buyer there needs to be a seller. So I kind of think it really would like to come down here and then break this trend line. So as you guys know, the way I play trend lines, I do not play the trend line break right there. I would not play that. What I would play is this, right? I would play that. This is too big of a gap for me. You know, we need to set up a solid bottom, which we've kind of done. We also have another buy zone below us, but off this order block, it's kind of a good bottom. We've had a touch, which is liquidity for me. I would love it to come down, take out this liquidity, right? Come peak down below it, start to consolidate, screw around, order up some more orders, and then break through, right? This is too far away from the bottom for me to take a trend line break. So I'm not taking the upsides, the buys yet, especially right now. If it does break and it does clear out all this liquidity, I think the next play is a sell up here, but we'll have to just to reevaluate. So right now it's kind of one of those things. This is one of those things. If it breaks, it's kind of like a point of no return. I hate to always say it, but if it breaks this high and it breaks these highs, I mean it's coming all the way up to here. I mean, you're looking at hundreds of 600 more pips up, and look at this gigantic fair value gap. I mean, look at this gap. If it breaks, it's gone. It's coming all the way up here. So we're kind of playing this last hoorah, right? If it holds now, it'll come back down and we're good to go. But again, we're putting ourselves in a position. It's either all or nothing, which is kind of trades I like. It's all or nothing. Um, so hopefully this is it. We'll catch this good entry and we'll come down. So that's the US30 trade. We're waiting on it. I'm not even really fucking with Nasdaq because Nvidia is going bonkers. But if I was to trade Nasdaq, I just drew a fan. And if you're on the 2 hour, this is actually swing to swing, right? Swing low, pivot point, swing high after a good retracement with another swing low. So these are the areas on the fan that I'm drawing. And as you can see, this area touched, right? It touched here. So it's kind of giving us a pretty decent fan there. And then on this one, it held perfectly. Originally, I drew my trend line from the bottom touching that and touching that. And then when I drew the fan, it matched up perfectly. I'm like, okay, well, if that's the case, then this must be the real top. And what I mean by the real top is when you draw the fan, you obviously pick out the bottom, which should technically be right there. Then you can move the top, right? Guys, the top has to be to some sort of structure. I cannot stand it when I see people draw fans like this. It's like that's not how it's supposed to be done, all right? Draw it to structure like that. Okay, bingo. So now look, it almost touched. So we can play this trend line break to this trend line, right? It's going to hold. Now these lines, when you do the fans, might not be absolutely perfect, good indication of what you can do. So that's the play that I'm going to do on NASDAQ is just look for a fan trade, all right? Goldilocks. Okay, so gold, we see it coming down. We have a pretty strong trend line on top. We have a good strong trend line on bottom. Of course, it's doing the wedge thing, right? So we have to first realize that we're in the middle of this consolidation zone, right? This whole area is a consolidation zone. We kind of need to then play on the exteriors if we wanted to be safe, right? So if that's consolidation zone, to be safe, we need to play up here or we need to play down here. All of this in between is risky, right? We know this. So therefore, these trades in here that I'm taking are inherently more risky trades. Therefore, it's a smaller lot size. It's not trying to hold for 1,000 pips and hold your profit forever. This is kind of a more of an in and out, intraday. See if we can catch some pips, take some money, leave a runner. That's that kind of a trade, right? So again, the same thing what we talked about on US30. We have tops and we have liquidity. All right. So if this breaks up here, I mean, it's gone, right? So this is kind of the thing. If it breaks this zone to the top, what's left? What's stopping it? Nothing. Nothing stopping it. There's so much liquidity up here. So again, now we have to ask ourselves, was this a sufficient liquidity grab? Did it grab and break enough orders for the market to go all the way up top and break this zone and get up here to this trend line? I just don't think so. I think it needs to come down here and hit this order block and maybe even come a little bit lower and maybe take out some of this stuff down here before it really has a chance to come up. Because after that gigantic sell-off right here, right? This is just kind of retracing. It did set a high, but now this is a lower high. Okay, it has not set a lower low yet, but that's what we want. Okay, we think that maybe this is retraced enough. All right. Well, the only way to figure that out is this. All right, has it retraced enough? Well, let's look. Right there at the 50%. So, I mean, usually I'd like to see it get a little bit higher than 61.8, but it has retraced 50% of that move. Now, it's definitely going to come back up here and get the rest of this. There's no doubt about it, right? But has that been enough? That could be enough then to at least break these lows down here and get us into like the overall bigger picture fib, which is, coming down into this area here. So I'd love to see this reject right now. 1, 2, 3, reject, come down, break this trend line, break all these lows, and grab some real liquidity. That way we can really come up here and set all-time high, right? So the thing is with gold, we're obviously very bullish, right? If we just come out to the daily, everyone in the world knows gold's bullish, right? Look at the trend, up, right? Pretty simple. So if we're going to get into buys, into longs, those are the ones you really, really want to hold like a larger lot size. You want to let a larger lot size run. We're bucking the market right now. We're going against it. So I really don't think these are the areas where we're going to try to catch those, thousands and thousand points moves. And again, if we're looking at Elliott wave kind of stuff, right? We had a push down, right? Then it retraced. And then we had a push down, and then it retraced, right? So another push down is in order. Like we need to see some more of another push down. There's another buy zone down there. So it's okay. We can catch these. We can take some profit. We leave a runner, right? But we taking the majority of the profit. We're taking more profit sooner, is what I try to say. If you get into a buy down here and you're buying off here, then you can feel comfortable to leave a larger lot size for to get run longer. Like, right? Like in this trade, I would take off 3/4, leave a quarter run. And this trade on the buy side, I'd take off maybe half and let half run, like leave a larger lot size run. But that's down the road. What we're talking about is today, right? So as you know, we have a 7:15, 7:45 break strategy that I haven't been playing, but I do pay attention to it. So if we go look at London, right? London hasn't broke outside. So if you're playing that little London break strategy, it hasn't broke. But I do like the fact this 3 o'clock candle set it high, and I don't think it's going to break that. I hope not. So it's coming down off of the swing off of London. And if you're a scalper, right? Let's just come in and look at this on the 5 minute. If you're a scalper, this was the trade, right? It broke, right? See how it broke right there? And there's your entry right in this area. Right there, it almost hit your 78.6. Gold likes 78.6, so there was your entry in this area, and it got overbought. So I do think we're should be at least. I mean, we're in profit now in this trade, but I think we should at least have a good dive down, give us some good profit, get us down at least into this area over here where we can take some sort of partials to protect. So we'll just leave this on the 30 minute for Goldilocks, and we'll get rid of our sessions because we don't need that. Reset. All right. So there's our gold trade. We've already talked about 30. We're waiting for a little peak up. We're not fucking with NAS. Let's get into Bitcoin. All right, Bitcoin. So I'm in a long from down here, right? Right about this area here. I'm buying. I've already taken off the majority of my profit at this area here. So I closed out right in there. All right. I do have a runner left. Now with Bitcoin, let's just zoom out because I have contradictory ideas on Bitcoin, I do believe. Okay, so right now on Bitcoin, if let's come to like the 4 hour, maybe a little cleaner here. So on the 4 hours Bitcoin, this is how I like to do my Fibonacci's, right? We obviously know where the top is, right there. We obviously know that. All right. So then what's the only thing is for us to discuss then is where's the correct bottom? All right? Is it this bottom or this bottom or this bottom or this bottom, whatever. The way I like to do this is grab my fib, right? And then I don't even look at my mouse. I only look at the lines on the chart. And I move this up and down until the lines to match up where I like, right? And so like right in there, I mean, is where I like it, okay? And we'll look at this. Well, the 236, we're seeing good rejections, resistance, so support, resistance, resistance, right? Consolidation, support, support, little peak above. Same thing on the 38.2, resistance, support. You get the idea. 50% support, 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 breakdown, resistance, right? 61.8 didn't quite get there, but it did get there here. So we're trying to play this as support, right? Came back up to the 50 is where I took some of my profit off in this area. But dude, there's a lot of downside here. This is also the daily support and resistance, this blue line, right? So let's go to the daily. Let's look at this. We got 5 people in here, nothing in the chats. You guys, if you're in the chats here, throw something in the chat so I know who's in here with us today. All right, so if we look at the daily, okay, and I have it marked off right here at 39, basically 6,400, 64,000. All right, on the daily then, look at how we have this consolidation, this rejection, support, long wick, close above. All right, this one unfortunately closed below but came right back. These ones closed right there on it. This one almost hit it, found support. Look at these long wicks, close above. These ones all close below, right? So you can see what I'm getting with this. I'm seeing this is my area, right? So now if I delete all this and I hide all this, so we see that it's at 164. If we go to the line chart, right? Let's right where we are. Yeah, it's going to bring it back up. But the line chart, look, low, 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 consolidation high, little flip, high, high. Look where price is right above that. So I do see that price now has the ability to come down and try to come back down to the 64,000 range, right? We are coming down to that range. So when I'm buying, I'm well aware of that. I'm like, all right, let's take profit a little bit early. We'll protect. We'll see what's up. You know, we can go to the batter's box and try to hit fucking home runs, but it doesn't mean we can't leave with a base hit, right? So there's a base hit. We took our profit. We protected. I got a base hit. It doesn't have to be a fucking home run and grand slam every time. All right. So there it is. There's our base hit. I have technically protected this, and if I haven't, I'm going to check it right now. All right. So my open positions on this account, I've got like 3 different account goings right now, but that's a US30. I'm not worried about that. What account are we on? Let's go to this account. Give me 1 second. Just double checking that I'm not broke even on all these trades for Bitcoin. And I think on this account, I don't have any crypto. Okay, so there's a Bitcoin trade that I'm up, and my stop loss is at break even. Okay, so I'm broke even on all the crypto stuff. On this account, I'm up on gold, I'm up on Bitcoin, and I'm up on US30. US30 is still a runner from that entry we had way back. Well, it wasn't too far back, but anyways, that's not here nor there. So this could be the area with the 61.8, and we're getting. You see how these wicks have come down to the daily? Let's just go back to the daily. Refresh this. That wick on the daily right here came down to it. Let's just move this out of the way so we can see. Again, this is the daily. It wicked it and closed right above it. So I mean, I'm cool with that. Like I think, hell, that could be it. This could then close bullish and we can be gone. Those other candles wicked below, the body closed right there on it. So that thinks, well, maybe this could still fill in and then come down to here and have the daily close down here. So again, I have no delusions about this trade. It could very well go negative and break me out at break even, which is cool because then I'll just come back in and enter down here. So it is what it is. Um, but just we have to know that we have to go and look at all the time frames and all the different situations and to look at the candles and whatnot. So what I'd really like to see, obviously, again, if we zoom out just a little bit, what did I say about trend lines earlier, right? I'm not playing a trend line break here. It's just too far away from the bottom. But if we can get, an entry here and it never comes back, that's cool. All right. And then if it does that, I would take another entry here and start stacking my positions, right? But we're not there yet. But what I am trying to say right now is we've gotten at least to a point where the price is not that far away from the trend line, right? Now, it's never perfect. It's never going to give you something that clean, but I mean, you never know. So hopefully this does now have enough juice. This 3-touch drive with the divergence is giving us enough where we can take off, right? So thanks. Who we got here? We got DC here and Puff King. What up, BSC? That's what I'm talking about. So since you're a BASC, let's go look at Solana real quick. All right. So we're getting there. Here we are. Solana. Obviously, we're in a downtrend. You can see that from the trend line that I have up top, right? I don't remember why I have this consolidation block marked up there, but there it is. Maybe it means something. So this is the reason why I'm looking to take a sell here on Solana. We're trying to go with the trend, right? I'm trying to look for something to get into sales. I see, if we come here on the hourly trend, let's zoom in so you guys can see it good. On this 1 hour, I see this little guy sitting right here, right? Right in that area. I do notice that this candle hit the bottom of it. But we still have a lot of this candle left that it did not hit. So basically what's happening is buyers, 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 market comes down, these people here and these people here are buying. This candle came back and took that candle out. So I'm not really considering that candle. This is the difference between what I call virgin candles and non-virgin candles, right? This candle up here has not been touched. These buys, there are people who are still sitting in these buys, right? This candle and this candle, people trying to buy up, have been negated because it came back up and it took these candles out, right? So if we're looking as far as untouched candles are concerned, buy candles, we're looking at everything in this area here. Oh, actually, technically there's one, that one came there, right? Because this wick came and got it. So that's our area. But I see that this came but it did not get this one. So this is kind of a tricky situation, right? This buy is still sitting there because this one didn't get it. That doesn't count because it just doesn't. I guess technically, yeah, I guess technically it does count. But so let's change our opinion. But anyways, I'm gonna leave it with what I was saying. This buy candle has not been negated over here. So therefore, that's my quote unquote virgin candle right there, right top to bottom. I want to see this price get half of that, which is right there. We can go into more depth about the Fibonacci's and all that, blah, 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 blah. Just know that this box is 88.6, at the bottom is 78.6, so which is half of the box, all right? So I want to see this come up. This is close to the trend line. Let's see if we can just get like a wick up, close below, and then go. I don't know if it's going to happen, but we can try. Hopefully it does happen. I mean, I'm buying Solano like in real life, not just trading it in my accounts, but taking money out of my bank account literally and buying Solano. So if it dips, I'll just buy more. And if it breaks, I'm going to go. I'm in profit. It is what it is. All right. So that's basically it. We need to look at gold. And if you're playing the 15-minute strategy, let's just look at that. Let's just draw that box. Sessions. Let's go to 15. Reset this. And let's just draw the box so we don't have to guess on it. There's the box. We'll turn this. So the way this works, if you're new here and the Bored Ape guy just joined in, thank you, by the way, for coming. If we have a 15-minute candle close outside of this box on either side, usually the market pushes for at least 100 points. So here's the 15-minute candle close right there. All right. So the way I would play this, and I haven't been doing it lately because I've been doing other stuff, but the way I would close this is I would enter a trade there and I would target 100 points. So there's 60, there's 80, so it hasn't quite hit 100, but at least there's enough to protect and take some profit off, right? I back tested it, and a lot of times it'll hit at least 100. The stop loss would be 50% of this. So if you entered, again, it's not always a positive risk reward ratio. I understand it. So maybe that's maybe a trade you don't want to take, but there's a stop loss. It hasn't hit it. You're still in profit, right? Um, that's just an example of how the strategy works. I went back and back tested on London session, and if it broke London, it usually ran for at least 100 points and didn't come back to 50% of that London. So I don't even know why that fib is there. Delete that. And the same thing, it closed here, you'd have lost that trade because it came down that way. All right, I get it. This trade I probably would have entered because it's already gone. This trade, yeah, see, that's the kind of thing. It's been kind of crazy lately. I mean, it closed, it didn't run, and then it came back to close, and yeah, well, that one's ridiculous. Yeah, I back tested it over like, I can't remember, 50, 60 trades, something like that. Had a positive win R, and I was up like a bunch of pips. So maybe you need to be more selective on like what kind of days. Like maybe a day like where it's a small stop loss. Maybe a day like today is a good day, but not a day like this. This looks crazy. The market moved in London. So yeah. Again, I'm not taking those trades right now. I'm taking it my normal OG status, OG strategy, which I'm in right now. Do I have any questions about any of that stuff we looked at? We only have 3 people on here. It's absolutely amazing that I've called so many fucking banger trades and just been posting shit all week long. Blah 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 blah. We've got 3 people on the live. 18 people stopped in and say what's up. Unless that like it looks like my audio is working. You guys can see my chart, so I don't know what other people have got. Literally giving money away. Let's look at the DXY real quick. Go back out to the 4-hour of the DXY. So in my Sunday markup, this is what I said I wanted to see. I see a double bottom. I see liquidity. This arrow right here, whatever. I wanted to come up, take out this liquidity, which it did. Find this red line in this area somewhere, which is around this top, which it did, and then sell off, which it's doing. So there it is. There's the strength, right? Come back up, touch that wick, and then be gone. So now what we wanted to do, we wanted to come down here and clear out all this because you got this bottom, this bottom, this bottom, and now this bottom. We can extend this little guy to over there, take out all that before it finds support and comes back up. If that happens, then Bitcoin should be buying. So if this sells off here, that goes with our Bitcoin scenario where Bitcoin should be buying up, right? So if Bitcoin buys up, what are we looking at to do? Buy up to right there, which means DXY then would come down to here and then flip, right? So then Bitcoin comes up to there and then flips, breaking the trend line, then flips. And if that happens, well, then guess what? Then we draw another trend line from here, and we use that as the next point of support to buy back up, right? We want this to buy up to this area and then come down to this area and then buy up. Just as the DXY, we want it to come down to this area, buy up, which would make the Bitcoin come down to find something and come back down because, well, why? Because we could use that. So piecing them together to try to figure out what the hell's going on. That's so long term that we don't know, right? It's so far out, but at least we have some sort of plan in place. We plan ahead of time, and then we execute. I need to change this patient, discipline, fearless. I did change it, and I don't know why I changed it back, but that's a different story. All right, there's three of us on here. There's two of us on here. Somebody's dropping out of here. Just DC probably in here this morning. Puff King, what up? And let's just go and check the Discords real quick to see if I have any fucking questions. Like, yo, nope, nothing on there. Bored Apes, we're good. And nothing on the, nothing here. Okay. So then basically we sit and wait. Basically sit and wait. I'm not going to try to like, just for YouTube, try to start scalping and try to do some crazy shit, which we can do, but we have market open in 12, 15, 17 minutes. Right? Market open in 17 minutes. So we're not going to try to get too fucking crazy and start scalping. But if you wanted to look at scalping, we can look at that real quick. Actually, let's go to NASDAQ where there's not a bunch of drawings. Well, there's a bunch of drawings on NASDAQ too. Fuck me. Well, is S&P 500 on here? No, it's not. Let's go to a chart. Let's go look at some forex pairs. We never do that lately. Let's go look at forex. Let's look at GJ. Everyone has a fucking boner over GJ. Let's go to the 4 hour. No. All right. GJ 4 hour. We're obviously bullish. We want to be in buys, right? I'm thinking we could catch a sell here off of this top and off this liquidity, but I gave it some pips, but then it broke and took off. So we could have protected. I don't know if I even took that trade. I don't think so because I haven't been messing with forex pairs too much. But look, there's the liquidity, guys, and so there's what it wanted to take out, and it did. It targeted and it took it out. So we can delete all this mumbo jumbo over here. All right, and here's our current trend line that broke, guys. There's the trend line. It broke, retested the top, and broke again. So then, perhaps this is the real trend line. All right, we'll get rid of this. Let's look at how. I kind of think this is a sell. I really think this is a sell, and I really think the sell's right now. Look at this. Right? Look at that. I'd be selling GJ right now. On the 2 hour, it's not RSI'd yet. The 1 hour, it is RSI'd. Ooh, look at that fat fucking engulfing candle, too. Man, it's kind of late to get in the trade, but there's that sell right there. It was an hour ago. The sell was an hour ago. I mean, I guess you could technically enter it now. Look at the kissing candle right there. It almost touched the kissing candle. So then you could perhaps be more patient and see if we get some divergent on this, because we don't have divergent yet. All right. So if you're not in GJ, and you haven't got in the trade, you could wait for the 3 touch divergent, 1, 2, 3, and try to get into a sell maybe in this area, right? Your stop loss would be 10% of the fib. Your TP1 would be 236, and TP2 is the 236 on the flip side. Let's look at where, you obviously have liquidity in this area, right? You have all this immediate area right here of liquidity. You'd want to get taken out, and that's at 38.2, right? So if you did catch that, by the time it gets down here, you'll be close to the trend line as well. right? So you take your TP1 there, 38.2. You do have this nice clean bottom for TP2 there, right? Your stop loss is minimum. Yeah, let's see if you couldn't wait for a little more divergence and catch this right there. I think that's probably the best idea. You'll be at the 88.6. Now, what's curious for me then is if we come up here and look at this area, right? We're on the 30-minute. Look at these wicks. Let's come in and see what that's all about. We do have a buy candle right there. So the buy candle then is right there to there. And if we remember earlier, it just touched the 78.6. It didn't even touch that buy candle. So the price that you can see now is right here on this line. And it hit the 78.6 earlier, but it did not hit that guy. So that kind of gives me a little more confidence then that this might be coming back up. So if you're a forex trader, that's a GJ trade right there that could be something. So let's get rid of this box. Let's put in one of these gain fan boxes to the bottom, to the top of that candle. So much liquidity, guys. Look at all the movement in that area. All this whole area, so much movement. That yeah, you would expect price to want to come back up and top that. So there it is. Right. Let's just do this. Instead of doing that, let's do this because that's going to get fucking a pain in the ass. There. And the top of that candle is there. Right. So that would kind of be the area then I would be willing to take a risk on a sell. You are going against momentum, but on the flip side, it kind of did. Let's throw some more sauce on this. It did break all the structure down here, right? So it did give us a change of structure. Let's go a change of character, breaking. I don't really say it broke structure, but at least did give us some sort of instance that, um, the bears are showing back up, right? Changed our character. Now it's giving us a pullback. Now let's look at this, right? One, kind of a shitty two, maybe two, three, right? So then if this is our second leg, this is not the prettiest second leg, by the way. It's just kind of fucking ugly. But there's the second leg, and there's the 236, and what it hit and what it closed right below it. So not only is it hitting the 236 extension, but look at the 61.8 extension is right into our candle area, right where I said we need to start selling. So that gives me kind of confidence too. It might reject right here at the 236, which it looks like it's doing. Right, 236 is right there, and it's rejecting the extension. So again, we might have missed the entry, but again, maybe we can just wait and be a little more patient. There's the 618. And this is the middle of that candle. And let's just see where the 88.6 is one more time. 88.6 right there. Look at that. 88.6 and 61.8 are matching up almost perfectly, which is the top of these candles. So let's put the entry, I would say, just a little bit south of that, which is where we have it. Call the entry out at 201.2. Let's call it 201 flat. And yeah, I think it's a solid entry. Your stop loss then would be 201. Your stop loss would be 201 flat, 201.85. And then we'll target, we already talked about the TPs, so you'll know where to target. So there's a GJ. There's a GJ entry. That's how you break these down, right? You look at the Elliott waves, you look at the pushes, look at the TPs, where the fibs line up with the flip side, look at candle structure. Too bad we didn't catch that entry right there. That'd have been sick, but it is what it is. 201 flat, 201. What did I say? 2012, 2013, whatever I said earlier. 2013, whatever. You guys get it. Actually, let's put that back on there. Let's call it right. 201.3 flat. That's what we'll call it. 201.3 flat. Stop loss 201.882. 201.882, and then TP1 should be right there, which is also, guys, like if we think about this TP1, look at that support resistance area right on the 38.2. And I really want to get rid of these fucking squiggly lines. Give me a second. This is the problem with using brushes. Okay. TP2, which is also, guys, 38.2, which is support resistance, and it takes out these two wicks, which is, those two wicks are liquidity. Hey, baby. Right here. Liquidity. So that makes perfect sense. There's your TP1 right there. Hello, good morning. Good morning. How are you doing? How are you doing? Say hi, YouTube. Can you say hi, YouTube? Can you say it? Morning. Morning. Good morning. Hi, YouTube. We're trying to make some money. Oh, there's a GJ trade. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. What are you doing? What are you doing? All right, guys. I'm just gonna leave it on gold here for a minute. I'll be back in a second. Obviously, to go play with my daughter. She just woke up. So we're gonna sit here and look. Just let it play out. We have market open in 7 minutes. I'll be back in 6 minutes. What? What is 30 doing? Can you say US30? Can you say 30? 30. 30. Yeah, US30. US30. Look how it's consolidating right on that trend line. Jesus. Wick up and go. So again, you could try to do this. You could set a limit, like I did, and enter, or if it pushes up and comes up here, then put a sell stop so that when it comes back through it, you'll catch the entry. Right? More than one way to skin a cat for all three people. We had 30 people stop by, 30 views, and only 3 of you guys stopped by. With the amount of sauce that I'm throwing out there, you'd think that more than 3 people would stay. Can you play guitar? Can you play? Hmm? Hmm? Munchkin? Munchkin? Can you say bye bye? Bye bye. Can you say bye bye? See you. See you. See you later. Robert. See you. Oh, it smells good in here. Yeah. Right back. Na, 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 na. I think there's a song that says that. Delete that. You guys have any questions about any of these pairs we looked at? There's 3 whole people in the chat. It's only 30 people stopped by, which is, it is what it is. I'm on Goldilocks. I kind of have a feeling that if gold breaks, I'm just gonna fucking hit buy. Like screw it, breakout trade. Not the way I trade, but you know, it is what it is. We do not want. We're playing next to the sun. Like we're flying too close to the sun. I fully fucking see that. This is. I like to take these trades, in which I did. I did take that trade. Right, I called that out, especially off this consolidation block, and I think I ended up taking profit like around here. Can't remember exactly where I took profit. As a matter of fact, I might have a runner still. Yeah, not on this account. But anyways, I don't like to play these triples. I do not like to play these triples. What are you doing?
Clothes on so we can go to school. Come on.
Go put your clothes on.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's check on the Bitcoin Solana world. So Bitcoin's still chilling. No pushes yet. I guess this market, is there news? Let's check news. There must be some sort of news or something because this shit is slow. Are we waiting for news? I should have checked this last night. Thursday. Nah, that's the reason why. We don't have shit for today. We have Thursday, Friday, and nothing on Monday, Tuesday. So look, here's the deal, guys. We have major news on Thursday, Friday. The market's going to push in one direction. Monday, Tuesday, it's going to continue that. So if you're in there, hold it through until Wednesday or look to re-enter trades in the direction the market shows us on Thursday, Friday, because it's just going to be continuation. No news, no reason to change it. Just continue on. Probably not a lot of volatility, but it is what it is. Right? So you can write that down in your books. Monday, Tuesday is continuation. Wednesday, going into Thursday can usually be the flip. And then Friday retraces a lot of what it did on Monday and Tuesday. Because if you think about it and you go back and look at the weekly candles on anything, you'll see there's a hell of a lot of doji small candles. None of this volatility, but good lord, look at the volatility of lately on Solana. Jesus Christ. I was buying back here. I had no idea it was going to come all the way fucking back up here. Anyways, what I was saying is a lot of times there's doji candles, right? There's a lot of wicks, but a lot of times the body is kind of small. Right here, right here, right here, right? And so what that's telling you is that Thursday, Friday retraces a lot of what it did on Monday, Tuesday, right? Small bodies, bodies not that small. I mean, not that big. Small, small, small. See, these bodies aren't very big. You'll have wicks, right? A big wick Monday, Tuesday, then Thursday, Friday come back down, close below. So that's what that's all about. I'd love to see one of these candles right here. Ooh, that'd be fucking awesome. But for me, as far as what I want to buy, I'd like to drop a whole bag down here, about 60,000. It's a 60,000 being obviously a psychological number, and let's just look at these weekly candles real quick since we're talking about it. Look at these bottoms right here, right? These bottoms, wick off, wick up, giving us a strong indication there's buyers. Now that wick also took out 50% of this candle. So this candle has been negated. If any sort of liquidity left over from short sellers here would have gotten out or would have taken something here, right? So when you have a gigantic engulfing candle, you'd expect the market to take at least half of that, and that's exactly what this did. So this is perfectly healthy market movement. 56,300 came back and ate that candle up. Pushed off, pushed off. Now look, now we have this candle, all right? Now we have this engulfing candle of this last bear candle, this bull. Well, what's market doing? Taking 50% of it now, right? This is healthy market flow, right? I'm hoping, because we had that support resistance line we had drawn earlier. Let's go back to that right there, that blue line, which it wicked perfectly. Now I'm hoping this is the bottom and it's going to go. So I'm playing the longs, right? Knowing that it could still come back. So here's the deal. If we're playing along now, which I am, and this thing takes off and runs, which would be fucking awesome. What we're going to do then is we're going to wait for this break of structure. The market will then come down and then continue this up, right? If you look at the way the market flows, you guys know this by now. Look, down, up, down, up, down, up, right? So what do? If we miss this trade and it goes from here, we'll just re-enter over here, right? And then guess what? And then we'll enter fucking over here on the next one, right? You get my point. So that's what we're looking to do. Now, when we consider this down, up movement here, I would not have gotten in to this trade there. I would have missed that trade because that's not enough of retracement off of this low, right? So this is why I use my fibs. Top to bottom, that's a 50%. I don't take 50% trades. I don't. What I do is I take 78, 88% trades. So now this is the next fib. There's my entry right there. That's the one I'm taking because I want this sort of a stop loss. And my TP is the 236, which again, it hit perfectly. Look at this, guys. We can't make this shit up. This is why I trade this way. 88.6, what's your TP? 236 extension. You could have taken some profit at the 236 here because it didn't retraced, but that's your ultimate TP. 236. Look, it hit it to the fucking dollar. All right. There's your trade. Second leg. First leg, second leg. Measure the retracement, measure the extension for the turnaround. There it is. There's the strategy. Touches on the trend line, blah, blah, blah. That's a fucking whopper. So if we're missing, if you're not in this first one, we'll just measure and catch that second leg. All right. That's a perfect trade right there. That entry right there would have on Bitcoin would have been fucking fire. But I wasn't trading Bitcoin. I mean, I look at it sometimes, but I don't trade Bitcoin daily like I do with NASDAQ and 30 and whatnot. So, um, yeah, enough said on that. What's 30? So everything is just fucking stagnant. Market's open. The weakest market open ever. Today you've seen it, guys. The weakest market open ever. You kidding me? We're live trading, trying to get some movement, and look at what we have. The most volatile, most crazy pair in the entire world gives us a market open like that. It's fucking weak sauce. How many pips is this? 20 pips, 30 pips. I mean, I guess if you wanted, you could take a sell rejecting the trend line. I'm not going to, but there are people who are definitely probably taking sells right now, rejecting the trend line. Goldilocks, screwing around. So it's going to be a short trading video this morning. We've already been on here for, I don't know, an hour, I guess. Something like that. Two people. Oh, is that what it is? It's fucking Juneteenth, huh? Ah, dude. Good shit. Yeah, thanks for reminding me on that one. Juneteenth. The black slaves in Galveston, Texas found out today that the Civil War was over. And this was technically not the end of the Civil War, but I guess the end of slavery in America was today, Juneteenth, also known as my grandma's birthday. Okay, well, the market's open, but it doesn't stop Solana. I mean, the market's moving, though, right? Like, it's moving. Oh, we have London. That's what it is, right? London's still open. So there's no U.S. session, but this is the London overlap. So yeah, we're gonna see consolidation all day long. Yeah, we're gonna see consolidation, and then we'll have a fucking bump tomorrow. A, news tomorrow, and then B, if the market's been closed all day, those orders are gonna fucking sell up and then just pop tomorrow. So I'm not really gonna look at 30 for the rest of the day. Then we'll just try to look at Bitcoin and Solana because those markets never stop. So all right, well, it's a good chat. Thank you for the last person who just joined in a few minutes ago. Andrew, U.S. Bank, yep. DC market close, yep. So yeah, this movement we're seeing here is just a carryover from the afternoon session in London. I totally fucking dropped the ball and thinking it was Juneteenth today. I knew it, but I didn't think about that as far as market's concerned. But thanks for all 4 people who stuck around here. This is your boy Nick. This is for training only. It's not financial advice. Guys, if you have any questions, hit me up in the YouTube chats or the social chats. If you don't know what all my socials are, check out the dot card and go get in the Bored Ape Solana Club. Go get into BitDogs. Join Andy Peters' Discord. So much sauce, so much learning. Hit me up on Twitter and let's do this. All right. We've been calling trades fire trades for weeks now, and we've just been banging them out. So you guys have a good day. If y'all have any questions, hit me up. Thanks for